Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nudie. My name is Denise Coy, your host. And today we're going to talk about imagination. Okay? It's all about your creative mindset. How can we dig deep into your imagination to create the life that you want to create? Now, this is something that people are going to be like, what? Like, I desire so many things. Why would I need to imagine more? Or why do I need to imagine something different? Because sometimes we have this limited imagination as to what we are capable of doing. And when we talk about the 3 pillars from before, and about creating that mindset shift, that habitual pattern shift, that belief system shift, we go and talk about your creativity. How can I imagine? What can I imagine my life to be like? And throughout life, we tend to adjust what we desire accordingly based on our preferences, based on our experiences that we experience in our lives. So I want to talk about this because imagination isn't really just about imagining this life that you want. It's also identifying your standards. Now, everybody wants different things, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be this glamorous life. It doesn't have to be all these things in your life that you have, or just millions of things in your wish list. It doesn't have to be like that. It can also be very simplistic things, but very important, obviously, to the person. So when I talk about standards, it's like, what do you think you deserve? How can I shift this mindset to be able to imagine this life that I never thought I could have? And yes, life will take you sometimes to places that you never even thought you would ever get to. And that's how life is. But it's so important to imagine and really expect life to provide you the standards that you desire. So whatever you're doing right now, whether you're driving to work, whether you're getting ready to go out with your friends, whatever you're doing right now, just imagine, what is the life that you want to live? What is it about the desires that you have that you don't have right now that really would make you really happy or would bring this abundance in your life? Let's say maybe a relationship or a work situation or a certain type of salary, whatever it is that you were deciding. Imagine your life really experiencing this scenario, right? Imagine you actually experiencing this. Ask yourself why you are desiring this. What is it really that's making you be like, oh, I really want this. I really want this kind of job. Like, what is it about this experience that I'm really going to get something out of it? That is really going to be an amazing experience to experience. And sometimes when you do analyze your why, obviously you start adjusting your desires, and that's part of the process. But ask yourself, why only this? And I'll give you an example that I didn't even realize that I wanted this until I was actually experiencing this. But it made me realize that I wasn't imaginative enough in my life to be able to bring that sooner in my life, essentially. So I was in a relationship, and I am a very ambitious person. I see myself doing millions of things all the time. And obviously one of my ambitious goals in my life was to become a lawyer. And I was in a relationship at the time when I was pursuing this goal where the other person wasn't as ambitious. And that's okay. Not everybody has to be ambitious. Not everybody is not right or wrong to be ambitious. It's just something that I was identifying from my partner at the time and from who I am. Now, I thought that being as ambitious as I was, and mind you, like, my friends loved, the way that I was, and I loved how I was, but I always thought I was a little bit crazy. I'm like, am I crazy for wanting all these really crazy, like, out of reach goals what? And I'm here explaining this to my friends, and I'm especially explaining this to my partner. And just telling my partner this, you could tell that it was just like, you're a little crazy. And it kind of made me, he never said anything bad or anything like that, but it made me feel like it was too much. Like I was being too ambitious. Like it was a little bit wrong to be this way. So I let it go. I wouldn't talk about my ambition as much. My love and my passion for being a better person, emotionally, professionally, and obviously in my personal life, it kind of diminished. I kind of put it like in a little box inside of me and just kind of like kept it compartmentalized within me. And for years, it was just like this. Like, yes, I was trying to reach these goals that I have, and I was still very ambitious, but I wouldn't tell other people, and I wouldn't communicate how important it was to keep going, right? So later on, obviously, this relationship didn't work, and I met my fiance now, and seeing how ambitious this guy is, like, he is so ambitious. Like, his dreams are so big, and not even just his dreams. Like, he wants all of it. He wants it all. He wants every aspect of his life to be amazing, and he's working on every aspect of his life to be that amazing. And we have obviously different goals, some similar, some different, but seeing this ambition, just kind of him working on his own goals and talking about them, allowed me to express myself more about my ambition, about my goals, about what I wanted. About everything that I wanted in my life. And it made me feel like it was okay to ask for this, and it made me feel like it's okay to talk about it, express it, and oh my God, it's okay to tell other people to also be like this. It's okay to express yourself and push others to also be a little bit more ambitious. And it kind of freed up a lot of what I put in a little box years ago, and it came out, it exploded. And within 2 years, literally, and it was like recently, like the first 2 years of our relationship, I wanted to do all of it, everything, and it was amazing. And I'm still doing so much, and I'm still expressing. And this podcast is an example of me going after something that I was like, listen, I have all of this to say, I have all of this ambition, I have all of these talents and skills that I can use to create something amazing and communicate to an amazing community, and here I am. So I didn't need someone else to help me express it, but I kind of did. And looking back, I'm like, wow, I didn't think that there was other people as ambitious as I was. I didn't think that I could find a partner that would align with my goals, with the kind of life that I want to live. I couldn't imagine it because obviously I was little, I was learning, but also I just couldn't imagine that I could have it all. I couldn't imagine that I could have an amazing, perfect partner. I couldn't imagine that my ambition was going to be okay in a relationship and be able to grow this life with someone else with being this ambitious of a person. So this goes back to saying, be imaginative, create the life that you want, and know that you can create and desire so much more than you think. Just because you want a certain type of job doesn't mean you have to give up other certain parts of the job. It doesn't mean that you can have many different amazing aspects that you love about a job and create it in your life. You can also, if you're looking for some type of relationship or an experience with a partner, you can also create this. You can also visualize and imagine yourself having this amazing experience where you don't have to give up something. I do believe that working hard for your goals is important, of course. But just because you desire something doesn't mean that you have to give up something else. You can also adjust your life accordingly. Obviously, you can't do it all at once, but you can imagine a life where you can have many different things. Like you can have your dream job and have a work-life balance. You can have your dream job and have an amazing team and have an amazing company. But also, you can be healthy. You can not be dying of stress. You can not have anxiety. And you can do so much without giving up other things. So this episode is really a reminder that whatever is on your list of desires for your next experiences that you want to have in your life, just remember, what is it about this experience or desire that you might be giving up for, right? So do you feel like going back to school or even going to school is going to make you give up something else, and see how you can imagine a life where maybe you don't have to give up some stuff. One of the reasons why we tend to not imagine more than we could is because sometimes we don't want to be uncomfortable. Now, in order for us to experience certain things in our life, sometimes we have to get into an uncomfortable emotion, an uncomfortable situation, something that is gonna help you grow a little bit more. And sometimes we want to avoid that discomfort. We want to avoid that conflict within us. Like our lives are going very smoothly, everything's going fine. Why would I need to disrupt this? And I'll tell you this, and this is something that I've learned from Mel Robbins, is you are never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready for your next step. Yes, sometimes a lot of things in your life might align to that scenario where you're like, oh my God, I'm ready. But sometimes you have to put yourself in a place where you're just like, okay, I have to do all this. And the only way to get there is through it, is to experience it and to put yourself in a discomfortable area. And, we tend to not want that. So recognize that sometimes you're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready for that next experience. You're never going to be fully ready until you're there and you're experiencing and you're learning. I always thought that I needed to, and mind you, I kind of agree with this. I always thought that I needed to be perfect, a perfect person. I needed to be perfectly in a place, in the perfect moment of my life, in the perfect emotion, in the perfect peaceful place in order for me to find my significant other or the person that I wanted to marry and create a life with this person. And I met my partner in a time where I was not in like the best place. Yes, I was working on myself, and I think we all are always. But it was a moment of, I still have so much to grow. I just don't think this is the person for me. And little do you know, we grew together. We were looking back, me and him, we were looking back at these photographs for when we first started dating, and we both had so much work to do, and we still have so much work to do. Everybody needs to evolve throughout life, but overall, there was just so much that we needed to get to. There was so much to learn that we needed to have in order to create this stable relationship. So, like I said, whatever you're desiring in your life, you're never going to be ready. Sometimes it's going to come at you unexpectedly. Sometimes it's going to take forever. And you just got to go with life and putting yourself in a place where, how can I imagine something out of the ordinary, out of something completely that people don't commonly desire, but I want to desire this. It's not common, but I really want it. How can I allow this to be a belief within me? How can I allow me to, oh my God, maybe I want this, to really desire this, to be like, hey, I deserve it. Hey, I am there. The standards are there. I believe that I can have that. And I want to finish off with, instead of asking yourself, can I ask for this? Ask yourself, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I desire this? Why wouldn't I ask for this? Why wouldn't I be able to get this? Why wouldn't I be able to have this kind of job? And keep asking yourself. Give yourself reasons why you keep telling yourself why you wouldn't be able to have this. And trust me, those reasons are so minimal, so little in how important they should be, but they're so significant that are blocking us from creating this amazing imagination of what you want to create or what you want to desire. So I want to close out here, and I just want to thank you guys for listening. This has been so much fun, and I really hope sharing my life experiences like this help you and inspire you to also think outside the box and put yourself in a place of, I deserve more, I can create more. How can I imagine a better life for myself? Love you guys.